Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is...
Okay, welcome back to the Tea with Dr. T. Thank you for joining me. I did have a special edition podcast that I just did, and I hope you take some time to read that. It's very timely for what we're in. But I want to do the podcast that I planned on doing, which is talking about my new book that is coming soon, called Reclaiming Our Birthright: Using Food and Fitness to Achieve Long-Term Health and Wellness. And I wrote this because I have so many people in my life that have gotten the gastric sleeve, they've gotten gastric bypass, they've used Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, Zepbound. Look, I could just say them right off the top of my tongue. They've used all these things, Weight Watchers, Noom, but many have struggled to keep the weight off. And even if they've lost weight with things like Options Medical Weight Loss Center, which I did and was very successful, either the weight has come back or they were miserable while they were losing the weight. And so I wrote this, Reclaiming Our Birthright, because I do believe that God intends for us to have joy, to have love, to have peace in our lives, and that food can, in fact, be our medicine and help us to live and live a long, fruitful life. So my table of contents are chapter 1, gratitude; chapter 2, commitment; chapter 3, where are you now; chapter 4, where do you come from; chapter 5, why are we obese; chapter 6, habits; chapter 7, let your food be your medicine; chapter 8, the body starts in the mind; chapter 9, fasting to detox; chapter 10, water; and chapter 11, making the rest of your life the best of your life. So in chapter 1, I basically start out, and this honestly was downloaded from God. So this is not something that I said, oh, let me write a weight loss book. Psh, how am I going to write a weight loss book, okay? But it was something that really got downloaded into me, and I just wrote it out, and I'm sharing it with you. And so one of the main things in chapter 1 is just having gratitude for our bodies. Again, I have so many people that just hate their body. They hate the way their body looks. They hate the weight. They hate the stretch marks. And I have grown over the years to absolutely love and adore my body, right? It's held 6 children that have been born alive, plus other pregnancies that ended. But my body has done some amazing things. It survived a car accident. I'm living with a brain aneurysm. I mean, there's so many things that on a daily basis I could just say, wow, like, body, you are amazing. And I had never thought about it like that before. So in chapter 1, one of the things that I ask you to do is think about your body. What has your body endured? What has it been through? Are you a miracle? Are you a survivor? Have you been through physical or sexual abuse? Guess what? You made it through. Let's take a moment and write out all the specific things we have to be thankful for that we have experienced in our bodies. List surgeries, car accidents, cancer scares, or treatments. And for everything you write, I am grateful for. So I am grateful for giving birth to 6 children who were born alive and beautiful. I'm grateful for surviving a car accident in 1998 that could have taken my life. I'm grateful that I walk without a limp, even though the doctor said I would always have a limp. I'm grateful that I can talk and write and smile with 2 traumatic brain injuries. And I go into detail. This is your journal, so you write what you want. I'm living with 2 knees that have arthritis, but I can still walk. I'm grateful for my stretch marks from growing older and giving birth to my children. And I'm grateful for my cellulite, right? I'm grateful for this soft, feminine body, which has been a safe place for my children and my partners to land. So just think about the things that you have to be grateful for about your body. Chapter 2 is about the commitment. The commitment. Are you really ready to do the work that it's going to take to change your life? I mean, this is deep, and that's why I put it in the front. If you ain't ready, baby, put the book down. Go pick up the Twinkies. Anybody still eat Twinkies? Pick up the brownies. Pick up the pound cake. And don't even be bothered, right? And then when you get those diagnoses, you can't be mad at nobody but yourself. But if you're like me and you are ready for a change, you're ready for something different, you don't want it to take a diagnosis to make you change, or maybe you've already gotten a diagnosis and you're just still struggling. Making a commitment to yourself is a great first start. Okay. So I ask you to visualize yourself. What do you look like on the other side of doing the work? And we all know what the work is. That's why I don't go too much into what you need to do, because everybody who's a yo-yo diet or anybody who's been big for over 20 years, you know what to do to lose weight. The point is, can you do it and stick to it? So again, that's going to look different. This is not a one size fits all book. This is, you have to do the work to figure out your body. What kind of foods does your body like and thrive when you eat? And what kind of food does your body reject? All of us, especially those of you who are in my age category, the 50-year-olds, whoop, whoop, we can eat stuff now and our stomachs is like, nah, we don't like that. Okay? I went back to eating pork after 20 something, around 20 years of not eating pork. I was Gucci at first. I was smashing. Baby, after a couple months of that, my body was like, okay, girl, like we let you do that for a minute. Now you're taking it too far. And I started having severe consequences. So listen to your body. It's telling you what it wants. It's telling you what it needs. A lot of us are just so busy that we're not paying attention, or we think that stomach hurt mess is how we're supposed to live, and it's not. Okay? So we want to see ourselves in the future, imagine our future state, and then we want to think about what is the commitment that we need in order to get to that state. A commitment is so necessary. You would not get in your car and just drive aimlessly, okay? You get in your car, you put in a GPS, or you think to yourself, I'm going to such and such, and then you navigate yourself there. We have to have a desired end state before we know why are we committing to this healthy lifestyle. What is it that we want? For me, I want to walk up the steps without my knees clicking and clamoring, giving out. I want to walk up the stairs with no pain, right? That is my main motivation, because when I put on weight and when I don't exercise, my knees be like, get somebody else to do it, okay? So figure out what is your motivation. Write that down. You have to use all 5 senses. So when you are at your healthy state, for me, it's not about being skinny anymore. I do not want to be skinny. I want to be healthy. If that means being healthy at 240, so be it. If that means getting down to 200, so be it. If that means going to 175, so be it. But it's healthy for me. What feels good in my body, that's different for you. And what feels good in your body. Okay? Next chapter is, where are you now? So I want you to take a hard look at where are you now. How much do you weigh? Do you work out at all? If you do, what are the results from working out? What are your diagnoses? What have you been diagnosed with? And what age were you when you got the diagnosis? How long have you been living with asthma, an aneurysm, ADHD, fibromyalgia, prediabetes, traumatic brain injury? This will let you know what's going on in your body and for how long it's been going on. And then I want you to do something I would have never thought of doing. That's how I know God downloaded this. Look up your medications. First of all, what are your medications and how much do you take a day? I bet most of you don't know that off the top of your head. And if you do, I'm very impressed. Put in the comments if you know that. I did not. I had to look at my bottles, write it down. I had to look up how much I was taking and how many times a day, write it down. And then I want you to look up any long-term side effects. I was so shocked that the ibuprofen that I took like candy throughout my 20s and 30s, it has nervousness and anxiety, ringing in the ear, dizziness or headache, indigestion, heartburn, nausea, vomiting, bloating, gas, constipation, and diarrhea as side effects. Not to mention what I have read on a lot of posts that people taking long-term ibuprofen have had kidney failure. So that's why I stopped taking it every day, because somebody told me it's really bad on your kidneys. It's hard on your kidneys. What are the possible outcomes of your diagnosis? So what will this diagnosis lead to if you don't do something? What's the natural progression of high blood pressure? Stroke or heart attack, right? If it's not under control, it could lead to a stroke, aneurysm, or heart attack. Aneurysm. If I don't manage my stress, if I don't do meditation, yoga, if I don't not let people take me there, or choose to control my anger is a better way to say it as Aries, then it could rupture. If it ruptures, there's a 50-50 chance of survival. And even those 50% that make it to the hospital after aneurysm, a great percentage of them die in the next few days. That's scary. So when you see me at peace, when you see me zen, I got a lot on the line. But I had to research the aneurysm in order to know that. Fibromyalgia, if you don't control that, it can lead to pain that is so severe that you have to walk with a walker, a cane, or eventually be in a wheelchair. Okay? And then I ask, are any of these related to the standard American diet? So what that means is, if you just ate fast food, potatoes, steak, no vegetables, right? French fries. You know how we like to eat chicken wings, right? If we continue to eat like that, are any of those things that we've been diagnosed going to get worse? And 80% is going to be yes. High blood pressure going to get worse. The aneurysm could get worse. ADHD and stress could get worse. Fibromyalgia could get worse. So that shows me that in order to manage my diagnosis, diet and exercise, it's not optional, it's mandatory. If I don't want these things to lead to death, or me being in a wheelchair, or me not being able to focus, not having a great job I have because I'm all over the place with the ADHD, I have to focus on what I eat. Okay? So we talk about our mental and our spiritual health next. And then we talk about, where do you come from? So what is in your bloodline? Maybe you don't have any diagnosis. Thank God for that, right? I have a lot of people who, they are overweight, but they don't have any diagnosis. So this is a time to look at their mother, their father's health ailments, their grandparents' health ailments, because guess what? These are the things that you are up against. So write them all down, and if any of them passed, when did they pass? Chapter 5 is, why are we obese? So I really go into, guess what? We're obese because our body wants to survive. It's a survival skill. If we got dropped off in a desert, those of us that have a hard time losing weight, our body retains fat, our body retains water, we would survive. Like, it's just how the body is built. It thinks we're going to starve, and it is prepared to live if we starve. That's why it's so hard to lose the weight. Okay? So we have to trick our bodies into losing weight. We have to override that. And that's what the GLP-1s have been able to do. Okay? They've been able to activate that part of our brain that always thinks that we're hungry, which is part of the survival skills, the survival strength as well. And then also make us feel full faster so that we're not overeating. Chapter 6 is about habits. Baby, a lot of what we do is just a habit. It is not even that deep, right? It's just a habit. And so we have to, again, get our brains to be able to make good choices habits. Picking up a bag of chips is so many people's habits. We love the way it sounds, the crinkle, that feeling when you first open it up and you smell the potatoes. Like, we love all of that. It's just a habit. But people that eat healthy, they have habits. I don't know what they are, but maybe like opening a bag of carrots, right? Eating chickpeas, right? Those are the things that if we do them long enough, they will become habit. Chapter 7 is Let Your Food Be Your Medicine. And this is really about, I built on the work of Dr. Bobby Price, Queen Afua, Jason Fung, Dr. Sebi, Jordan Rubin, J.J. Smith, and Ashley Koff. If you do any research about longevity or living long, eating healthy, all of those things, you know those names. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these people were sick and used food to heal themselves. Isn't that amazing? And Ashley Koff is a personal friend of mine. She used food and nutrition to heal herself from obesity. So it can be done. It can be done. It takes time, it takes energy, it takes planning, and it takes knowledge. So you got to be locked in to learn this stuff about food and why processed food that is made in a factory, why that is so damaging to us. Just think about it. Food made in a factory. We're so desensitized to that, but that don't even sound right. Right? We went from food planted outside in the backyard, in the the green earth, the brown earth, to food being made in a factory, and we wonder why we're having the outcomes that we're having. The next chapter is a change in the body starts in the mind. And this kind of ties into the commitment, right? You made the commitment in chapter 2, but this is where you got to really ask yourself, am I ready to be made whole? Am I ready for a change? Jesus didn't heal anybody without saying, are you ready to be made whole? Do you want to change? Because you have to want the change. Nobody is going to come again and save you. You have to be prepared to do this for yourself. And those of you who've had gastric sleeve or gastric bypass or used GLP-1s, you know this. You know that these are things to help aid weight loss, but they in and of themselves cannot do the work. There's still work that has to be done. Chapter 9 is fasting detox. So I advise people to fast. Of course, you have to talk to your medical doctor before you fast. Talk about what medications you're on and all those things. But I've used fasting since, 2005. I believe it was 2005, 2004 maybe. And I talk about the person that taught me fasting. She taught me the lemonade fast or the master cleanse. She was Seventh-day Adventist, and Seventh-day Adventists are really in tune with how God wants us to eat. Somewhere along the line, we lost that in the other denominations. But this is really about choosing different fasts, whether it's a water fast, a 3-day water fast, 3 to 7 days with the master cleanse. And I've done the master cleanse as long as 30 days. In 2005, I did a 30-day master cleanse. And then 7 to 10 days with a fruit and vegetable cleanse. And I don't think I put this in a book, but I was having really, really, really bad shoulder pain. I mean, like I couldn't sleep. I was writhing in pain. I was working out with a trainer online, and I think I just did something wrong. And I was going to see a specialist, and they said the only thing that they could do was a shot or surgery, both of which carried the risk of death. And I went and prayed, and what dropped in my spirit to do was a juice fast. And I think I did 7 days. I don't remember if I did 7 or 10 days. And in that 7 to 10 days, pain was gone. Hey. Baby, let me tell you something. That pain was excruciating. And I had it for like 2 months. And it was gone during that juice fast. Water. So I talk about how important it is to drink water, give up sugar-sweetened beverages. And then the last chapter is making the rest of your life the best of your life. You have more power and control than you think. What this book is really about, reclaiming our birthright, is the fact that we trade in how we should feel in our bodies for convenience. Whether it's DoorDash, whether it's going through drive-thrus and fast food, whether it's going to Chick-fil-A or Chipotle, instead of going upstairs and making healthy foods, cooking and planning, we are trading in our birthright that God gave us for healthy. Now listen, we've all gone through stuff that were beyond our control, cancer diagnosis and stuff like that, car accidents. But the point is, the healthier that we are when we get those diagnoses, when we get into those car accidents, the better we can bounce back, the better we can heal. Our bodies are designed to heal themselves. That's why when you get a cut, you bleed, and then a scab comes. The scab protects it so that it's able to heal from the inside out, and then the scab falls off. Come on now. Our bodies are made to heal. But we have to do what we have to do in order for our bodies to work efficiently. Drinking water is number one. If we're not drinking water, we are not giving our bodies what it needs to work efficiently. And I talk about this in the book. Some of us take better care of our cars than we do our bodies, because we won't let our cars go without gas. We wash our cars, you know what I mean? We get our oil changed, but we don't take the same time and energy with our bodies. We don't go to the doctor annually to see what's going on. You know, we don't go check it out when our bodies feel a little bit off. Okay, and we're dang sure not giving our bodies the minerals and the proteins and the vitamins that it needs, and that's in there as well. What vitamins do we need to supplement, because we're not getting these vitamins in our food? And I go into that as well. So thank you, those of you who have stayed on. Reclaiming Our Birthright will be out end of December, early January. So all of those of us who are making our New Year resolution, New Year, New You, I started mine in October. I never wait till January. I'm on my 4th week of exercising regularly again. What Cardi B say? Fall down 9 times, but I get up 10. Look myself in the mirror, say, we gonna win. Knock me down 9 times, but I get up 10. So that's literally the first song on my playlist, my workout playlist, because baby, I don't care how long it takes. I'm going to continue to work on this thing. I'm not trying to say I'm perfect. I'm not trying to say you have to be perfect. But as long as we are working on reclaiming our birthright, working on the majority of our foods being from the earth and being what God made them in the state that God made them, we are going to get somewhere. We are going to feel better, and we are going to have the victory over this obesity epidemic. That's it for the Tea with Dr. T. I hope y'all have a great day. Do something that your future self will thank you for today. Bye.